A man in Ohio cleans portable toilets for a living. Not glamorous, not Instagram worthy, definitely not what his childhood self imagined he would be doing. He just bought his second rental property in cash. Today, 3 businesses so boring nobody brags about them at parties, and so profitable the people who own them quietly stopped caring what anyone thinks. Let me tell you about Derek. Derek graduated with a marketing degree. Wanted a dream startup life? Exciting pitch decks, maybe a TED Talk one day. For 3 years he hustled, built 2 apps that went nowhere, pitched investors who said, interesting, follow up in 6 months, and then never replied to the follow-up. Broke, frustrated, watching his savings disappear into ideas nobody wanted. Then his uncle, who Derek had always considered the boring one in the family, offered him a part-time job, pressure washing driveways. Derek said yes, mostly out of desperation. 3 months later, he was doing it full-time. 18 months later, he had 4 employees and was turning down jobs because he had too much work. Derek makes more money now pressure washing driveways than he would have made it. Most of the marketing jobs he applied for after graduating. He still has not told most of his college friends what he actually does for a living. That is the pattern. Boring businesses, massive profit, almost zero bragging rights, and almost nobody talking about them. Today, 3 of them. I am Zig. Welcome to Learn Finance with Zig. Let us get into it. Business number 1. And yes, we are starting here on purpose. Portable toilet rental. I know what you are thinking. And yes, you are thinking about it correctly. It is exactly what it sounds like. Here's why this business is quietly a goldmine. Every construction site needs them. Every outdoor festival, wedding, and concert needs them. Every event with more than 50 people gathered outdoors, legally, requires sanitation facilities in most places. That demand never goes away. Construction does not stop. Events do not stop. Festivals do not stop. The economics are almost unfair. A single unit costs somewhere between $800 and $1,500 to purchase. That same unit rents for $150 to $300 per month, sometimes more for short-term event rentals, which often charge per weekend rather than per month. That unit pays for itself in 5 to 10 months. Then every month after that is close to pure profit minus minimal maintenance. A company with 50 units in steady rotation can generate $300,000 to $600,000 in annual revenue, with relatively low ongoing costs, mostly cleaning, transport, and the occasional repair. The barrier to entry is almost non-existent compared to most businesses. No advanced degree required. No complicated licensing in most areas. Just units, a truck, and a willingness to do something most people consider beneath them. That willingness is the entire business model. Low competition because most people will not even consider it. High demand because every event needs it. The discomfort is the moat. Business number 2. Slightly more familiar, but most people will still get the scale of it completely wrong. Self-storage. You have probably heard of self-storage facilities. What you probably have not heard is how ordinary the path to owning one can actually be. Here's the part nobody talks about. You do not need to build a massive facility from scratch. Many successful self-storage operators start by converting existing underused property, an old warehouse, a defunct retail space, even a large piece of rural land with simple metal container units. A small operator can start with as few as 20 to 40 units on a modest piece of land. Converting an existing structure can cost as little as $50,000 to $150,000, significantly cheaper than most people assume. Now here are the numbers that make this genuinely remarkable. A small facility with 40 units, averaging $100 per month per unit, generates $48,000 in annual revenue. Operating costs for a small self-storage facility are shockingly low. No utilities to speak of beyond basic lighting and security. Often just one part-time person or even fully automated entry. Profit margins on storage facilities routinely run between 40 and 70%, among the highest of any small business category. That puts net profit on a small 40-unit facility somewhere between $19,000 and $33,000 annually for a business that requires maybe a few hours of actual work per week once it is running. Scale that up. A facility with 200 units run by the same owner can clear $150,000 to $300,000 a year, with the owner working closer to part-time hours. People drive past self-storage facilities every single day and think nothing of them. The people who own them are quietly some of the most relaxed business owners in their entire town. Business number 3. And this one might be the most overlooked of all 3. Vending machine and laundry machine routes. This is the business of placing machines, vending machines, laundromat machines inside apartment buildings, ice machines, claw machines in other people's locations, and splitting the revenue. Here's why this is genuinely brilliant as a business model. You do not own the real estate. You do not pay rent on a storefront. You place a machine in someone else's existing foot traffic, an apartment complex, an office building, a gym, a laundromat space inside an existing building, and the location owner gets a small percentage while you keep the rest. A single vending machine costs roughly $3,000 to $5,000 to purchase and stock initially. A well-placed machine in a busy location can generate $300 to $500 per month in profit after restocking costs. One machine alone pays for itself within a year and then becomes nearly pure profit. But here is where it gets genuinely interesting. This is a root business, meaning the model scales by adding more machines and more locations, not by managing more staff or more complicated operations. An operator with 20 to 30 machines, spread across a route visiting each location once or twice a week to restock and collect cash, can generate $8,000 to $15,000 per month in profit. That is $96,000 to $180,000 a year, often as essentially a side business that takes 10 to 15 hours a week. Laundry machine routes inside apartment buildings work almost identically. You provide and maintain the machines. The building owner gets a cut. You collect the rest. Tenants need clean clothes, regardless of what is happening in the economy. Nobody at a dinner party leads with "I own 40 vending machines." But the person who does is often quietly out turning half the room. Notice what all three of these businesses have in common. They solve a problem that genuinely never goes away. Construction sites need toilets. People run out of space and need storage. Humans get hungry and need clean clothes, regardless of the economy. They have low glamour, which means low competition. Most people chasing business ideas are chasing something that sounds impressive. Almost nobody is racing to start a portable toilet company. They scale to repetition, not complexity. More units, more machines, more locations, not more complicated operations or bigger teams. And they reward people who are willing to do the unglamorous thing that everyone else is too proud to consider. Derek did not become wealthy because pressure washing was exciting. He became wealthy because almost nobody else was willing to do it, which left the entire market available to him. That is the actual secret, hiding behind every one of these businesses. There is no secret, just low ego and high willingness, where everyone else has high ego and low willingness. So there it is. 3 boring businesses quietly making people millionaires that absolutely nobody talks about. Portable toilet rental, self-storage conversion, vending, and laundry machine routes. None of them will get you invited to speak at a conference. None of them make a great answer at a dinner party. None of them are going to trend on social media. But all 3 solve problems that never disappear. All 3 have brutally low competition because of the image problem, not the profit problem. And all 3 reward consistency over charisma. Derek still pressure washes driveways. He also just stopped checking his bank account anxiously because he does not need to anymore. Sometimes the most boring path is the richest one. Smash that like button. Subscribe to learn finance with Zig. Drop a comment. Which of these 3 would you actually consider starting? Be honest. I will see you in the next one. Stay smart. Stay wealthy.